always believed that marriage was a sanctuary built on trust, honesty, and loyalty. I thought I knew my wife, Anna, completely. We laughed, dreamed, and faced life's challenges together. But over time, subtle cracks began to form, cracks I tried desperately to ignore. Anna started staying out later than usual. Work dinners, nights with friends. Her explanations were always convincing. I wanted to trust her. I told myself I wasn't a jealous husband, that I was giving her space. But every fiber of my being whispered that something was wrong. It started with small signs. She guarded her phone as if it held her life's secrets, laughing at messages but instantly locking it whenever I entered the room. The scent of another perfume clung to her clothes. She would dash into the shower the moment she came home, as though she were scrubbing off the night itself. I wrestled with doubt, telling myself I was being paranoid. But deep down, I knew the truth was creeping closer. One evening, I couldn't ignore my instincts any longer. She said she was meeting a friend for drinks, and I followed. My heart dropped when I saw her, my Anna, in the arms of another man. They kissed with a passion I thought only I had ever known. Time froze. Every memory of us together, the laughter, the plans, the quiet nights, felt like a cruel illusion. I drove home in stunned silence. Anger and heartbreak collided inside me, but I made a choice. I would not explode in the moment. I would let her confront the consequences of her own actions. Not through violence, but through truth. That night I prepared carefully. I printed the photos I had secretly taken. Her kissing him, holding his hand, hugging him like they were the only two people in the world. I placed them neatly on our bed, where her head would rest, and left a note in simple piercing words. I know it's over. My hands trembled, but inside, a strange calm washed over me. Hours later I heard the key in the lock. She slipped in quietly, thinking I was asleep. She moved around the room, shedding her clothes and sliding into bed as if nothing had changed. But this time the bed was no longer a place of comfort. It was a trap. Her hand brushed the photos, and confusion flared across her face. She picked them up under the dim glow of her phone, and the realization hit her like ice water. Her gasp cut through the silence. Her breathing grew shallow, panicked. She flipped through the photos and then read the note. I stayed still, pretending to sleep, letting her face the weight of her own choices. For the first time, she was the one trembling, the one trapped in fear. Finally, I opened my eyes. Her face was pale, her lips trembling. "Please, it's not what it looks like," she whispered. The lie fell flat against the undeniable truth she held in her hands. I sat up slowly, the calm in my gaze heavier than any scream. "You came back here as if nothing had happened," I said softly. "But you forgot something." I already knew. She reached out for me, but I pulled away. My arms created a wall between us, a boundary she had broken but could no longer cross. Tears streaked down her face, and she begged, promising it was a mistake, that she still loved me. Every word sounded hollow, a feeble attempt to undo what could never be undone. Love doesn't hide. Love doesn't betray. Love isn't him, I said, each word deliberate, pressing down on the guilt she could no longer escape. She shrank beneath the weight of her own choices, and my heart, though breaking, remained resolute. I rose from the bed, grabbed the suitcase I had packed earlier, and walked toward the door. She reached for me, her hands shaking, but I shook her off gently. "We built this life together," I said, my voice low, "and you destroyed it the moment you chose him over me." Her sobs echoed behind me as I left the room. I didn't look back. For once, I wasn't shattered. I was reclaiming myself. The next day she called, texted, even appeared at my workplace. I ignored everything. The photos, the note, they said all that needed to be said. She had walked into our life believing she could live two worlds at once, but instead she had met the cold, unflinching truth. And sometimes, the truth hurts more than anything else ever could.